What's up, everybody? This is Prime Sports Media. I want to thank you for being here, listening. I just want to make some corrections before I get started with this program today because Coach Prime has made announcements about who's going to remain or who's going to be the offensive coordinator. It's been put out there, and of course, he's still looking to fill the position of defensive coordinator of this football team. I just want to make a correction. Last week, I uploaded a video. I took that video down because there were some boo-boos and mistakes in the video that I made, and I want to apologize to everybody out there. Now, one of the corrections in particular was Coach Mike Zimmer, who I spoke of before. Of course, he's been consulting and working with Coach Prime since he was at Jackson State, has helped out while he's been at CU currently. And the question is, in that video I was trying to convey is, will he be potentially given the defensive coordinator's position since Coach Prime and Mike Zimmer have a relationship? Now, Mike Zimmer's son, I believe Andrew Zimmer, is a assistant coach working with CU right now, building up his resume. So I just wanted to make that correction right there out of respect for you as the audience. Now, this video, as you know, I want to break down, how do you feel about the personnel changes in terms of he's got some more talented young men that have come in from the transfer portal? Do you think that the defensive line of the secondary is going to be much better than it was a year ago because they've got some new additions that Coach Prime? Look, CU right now is ranked number 2, 1 or 2, whatever rankings you look at as far as the transfer portal is concerned, is when it comes to recruitment. And I like what Coach Prime is doing. He's going forward. He's moving forward. And the best way that he moved forward this week, or has in the last few days, is the naming of Pat Schumer as who will remain as the offensive coordinator of your Colorado Buffs in 2024 in the Big 12. Let me know. Says right here, Pat Schumer will remain offensive coordinator for Colorado next season. What are your thoughts about this, man? Of course, you know that he took over the team during the middle of the season, the past season. He took over offensive coordinator duties from Sean Lewis because there were a lot of weird things that was going on with Sean Lewis, his play calling, some of the inconsistencies, and a lot of fans, a lot of us on social media were crying out that Sean Lewis, in our opinion, was a problem with the offensive play calling that was very questionable, as Deion Sanders was taking all types of hits. There was no adjustments on the offensive line. So many different things that were happening. And so Pat had to step in and do some play calling. Now, Pat has had experience in the NFL, coaching, assistants, the whole 9 yards. But let's go right ahead and let Pat tell you his pedigree. And let me know out there, what do you think? Did Coach Prime make the right decision, just basically promoting him to the position permanently? Or would you have liked to have seen him go after someone else, maybe a more prominent person currently in the NFL? That's going to be very hard to do. But let's go ahead and hear what Pat had to say and give your thoughts about all of this in the comment section of this video.
I am Pat Shermer. I'm the offensive coordinator, and I've been a head coach twice. I've been an offensive coordinator numerous times. I've been a position coach.
Boom. I want to say this is fair use for the purpose of educating, news reporting, okay, critical analysis, parody. As he said, he's been a position coach, assistant coach, right? He's been an offensive coordinator. He's done it all. I believe he spent a short time as a head coach, right? He was with the Giants. He's been around the block. Let's go back and hear more of what he had to say to the team, and this is fair use.
I've been a player, but in all my years, I've never been more excited to start a year than this year. We have got a great group of players in here. We have a great group of coaches. We have a great group of a support staff. We have the people in here to go win a championship. We are embarked.
Are you excited? Do you believe that Pat is the right fit for the team? Are you excited about the choice that Coach Prime has made? He seems very enthusiastic that they can win a championship. And basically, he laid it out. Of all the experiences that he's had, he's never been as excited as he is to go forward and see you and try to get them to the top of the ladder. Okay, I think a lot of things are possible because Coach Prime and Pat have a relationship. Pat has that pro experience, and Coach Prime has been preaching to the team that he wants to see his players get to the next level by bringing in pro-style level coaches. Now, when we talk about who's going to be the defensive coordinator of CU, I'm telling you right now, Coach Prime sort of spilled the beans. We already know he wants a professional, not just a professional coaching experience, but he wants guys that are winners at the pro level of coaching. And he kind of gives a clue to that in this message to the team. Once again, this is fair use with the purpose of educating, parody, news reporting, fair use. Here's Coach Prime. Here we go.
Person or two staff members that we didn't introduce as our coordinator. And I could easily choose the coordinator for you, but instead of being hasty, I'd rather be right.
So you can see that Coach Prime is looking to be 100% right. He wants to choose the right coordinator. Here we go.
So you got to understand the NFL is just getting over, and there's still some teams in the playoffs. So
boom. Now, right there is one of the first clues. He's saying that there are some teams still in the playoffs and they're still getting over. So that's almost like he's telling you, he hasn't chosen a defensive coordinator. It appears, folks, because he's looking at guys who are on winning teams in the NFL, who are either in the playoff, or it sounds like that are still in the playoffs, that have defensive coordinators that he would like to pluck off their team. Now, the question is, can he get top-notch defensive coordinators currently in the NFL that would be willing to leave the NFL to go to CU, to Colorado, and coach at the college level? We'll have to see. But we do know that some of the prospects that people have been talking about, you got Ken Norton Jr., who obviously he has a relationship with going back to when Coach Prime played with the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, there's a relationship there. Will it be a Lovie Smith? I talked about this before in my previous video. Will it be Coach Lovie Smith? Will it be, as I said before, Ken Norton Jr.? Could he be the man that he's looking for? Of course, I talked about a Charlie Strong who has some experience. Okay. Then we have a Dennis Thurman. I mentioned this before. Will it be Dennis Thurman, who's been with him for quite some time? Will it be a Flores? Okay. Will he go with him? Leslie Frazier, who what I'm hearing is that Leslie is looking at possibly an NFL coaching opportunity. I don't know if it's the Raiders. I think the Raiders are one of the names that came up, but I think they're going to go with Pierce. Okay. So we'll see what the situation is as this all plays itself out, ladies and gentlemen. But Coach Prime is obviously telling us that he's looking for someone who has pro background, but particularly waiting for these teams that are in the playoffs. So that gives us a little bit of a clue as to what Coach Prime is looking at. Let's hear some more.
We're trying to get you a pro, but we're trying to get you a professional, either from college or from the NFL, but we're trying to do it right because this side of the room, right, defense, you deserve that. And we're going to get it right for you because a lot of you guys want to go to the next level, and I plan on you guys going to the next level, and we're going to get
Woo. It's pretty obvious what Coach Prime is doing. He wants to bring in the best, And as he said right there, you guys, you players, my players, you want to get to the NFL, and we got to bring in the top quality coaching staff that can prepare them properly for that next level. So I'm very anxious to see who he's going to bring in, right? I mean, we already named a couple of guys that I put up on the screen here. Okay. Will it be Mike Zimmer, who has who has pro coaching experience with Minnesota, who's been with Coach Prime, right? We know that Dennis Thurman has not only he was a player in the NFL, but he also has coaching experience with the Bills, with the Jets. So we're going to see how this all plays out. But he gave us a clue. So let's start looking at the teams that are in the playoffs. Now we know I'm going to put this guy up here right now. This brother right here, Morrison. This brother right here is an defensive coordinator. I want to correct that. He's a defensive coordinator for the Rams. This brother right here, currently the Rams lost their playoff game against the Detroit Lions. Will Coach Prime be looking to give this brother a call? I'm just wondering. I'm just curious because he says, hey, there's some teams that are still playing. So let's go on to this. When you talk about what they're doing to improve the defensive line, as you all probably have heard about this young man that I want to talk about right now is a defensive lineman out of, if I'm not mistaken, New Mexico State. And let me just put this up here right now. This is Webb Walker. Nikhil Webb Walker. Last season, he's got some talent. I think this is just going to add more depth to the program, to the team. He had 28 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He was ranked top 5 in sacks overall on his football team with New Mexico State. And once again, this is about adding another addition to the team, adding more talent to the team that is necessary. And I want you to all give your honest opinion about how do you feel about this young man being a part of the football program now, adding depth. We want to improve the defensive line because teams are able to run up the gut on them just in the last season. So give us your opinion about Webb Walker, who has signed. These are guys that have signed that I'm going to present to you because Coach Prime still hasn't, as he said, announced a defensive coordinator, but he is steady collecting or gaining talented young men who are coming into the transfer portal. And in this case, young men like this young man here, Webb Walker, who have signed with the football team. Now let's go over to this young man right here. Okay. This is Torian Carter out of Arkansas. This is a young man who made the transfer move. Looks like at one point in time, this young man might have been interested. I want to make sure I get this down right. He was considering transferring to SMU, changed his mind, and made CU now his destination. I'm going to give you some breakdown of his stats, what he's made of right now. I appreciate everybody that's listening to this podcast, the Prime Sports Media podcast. I know I've been away a little bit. It's been the holidays have come around. Martin Luther King Day was yesterday. So I want to say much respect to Dr. King, his family, and what all MLK has meant to all of us. But this young man right here, Carter, stands 6'3", 303 pounds. Okay. As I said before, he was thinking about going to SMU, but he changed his mind. He spent this is one of the things I'm really kind of interested in about. He spent 5 seasons at Arkansas and played in 33 games and started in 5. Okay. So he played in 33 games. He started in 5 of those games, recording 60 tackles at 7.5 tackles, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the only question that I have is, wow, that's a lot of time to spend at a school, 5 seasons, and he's only gotten 5 starts and 33 games that he's played in, and he's got 60 tackles in total. I'm just a little, I'm glad to have him aboard because we need to add depth to our defensive line, more beef. But I am curious, and hopefully we'll get more information because that's a long time to be at a program. He was in the SEC, which is, you know what kind of conference that is. But that's interesting that he played there for those many years, only to have 5 starts, 33 games, 5 starts, and recorded 60 tackles. So we'll see. Maybe he just never got an opportunity. Maybe he had injuries that delayed his development and ability to be on the field consistently. We got to keep that in mind. Could have been injuries. He could have had some personal problems where he had to step away. Like I said, injuries. We'll see what he does, what he's able to do with CU, Coach Prime and the team when they get ready for the spring practice and get ready for the conditioning, the whole 9 yard. But I'm glad that he's added to the team because you need depth. This is one of the things that I noticed with CU. Tell me if I'm wrong or right in the comment section of this video, that CU lacked a lot of depth last year. Even though Coach Prime pulled a lot of transfer portal young men to the school, they still lacked a lot of depth in certain areas because Coach Prime primarily brought in a lot of skill position players, wide receiver, things of that nature. So we'll see how that all pans out. Let's go to the next young man that I find I think they're secondary. And let me know how you feel about the young man that I just talked about, Carter, everything that I said about that. But this right here, their secondary, folks, I think is going to become one of the best secondaries in the country. They're going to have a lot of depth because they just got another young man who's coming from Oklahoma State. DJ McKinney. I want to get these names right. I know y'all jump all over me if I don't get these names right, but DJ McKinney is transferring or has transferred over and signed with CU. If I'm not mistaken, he's come over from Oklahoma State. He's 6 foot. This kid is 6 foot tall, 174 pounds. I'm very excited about him being a part of the program and what he will bring to the program. Once again, 6 foot tall, 174 pounds. Okay, this is another thing that's a plus right now, folks. This young man was a redshirt freshman at Oklahoma State, which means Coach Prime is going to have him potentially for 4 years still, or 5 years now. He's going to have, because he's 4 years at CU, 1 year he was at Oklahoma State. That's great because he can develop and get better than what he already is now under Coach Prime tutelage. I think that they're building a dynamic secondary in the makings, okay? This young man, I want to put this back on the board again. This young man had 38 tackles, folks. 5 pass breakups for Oklahoma State, okay? And I believe they're in the Big 12, and Coach Prime and CU will be in the Big 12, y'all. Another thing I want to say about this young man, 38 tackles, 5 pass breakups in 14 games that he played. That's not bad for a young man that was a freshman, and then eventually they redshirted him. Hopefully, Coach Prime is going to get the benefits of where he is in his development, and they can improve him with the right coaching. And hopefully when they decide who the defensive coordinator is going to be, we have a better sense of how they're going to use this young man. I hope that this young man, who is he going to play day one? What do you all think about this young man, DJ McKinney? Give me your honest opinion about this young man. How do you think he fits in amongst all the other talented young men that Coach Prime has picked up for that secondary during this particular offseason, getting ready to go into 2024? I want you to give me your honest opinion about it. What do you think is going to happen? Coach Prime is making great moves here, and I think we can't sleep on what Coach Prime is doing. Let me know what you think. This is Prime Sports Media. I thank you all for being here and supporting the channel. Make sure you do me the biggest favor. Please, thank you. If you can do this, I want to say thank you for watching the video. Like and comment on this video, honestly, as you have. Subscribe to the channel. Share this channel with other people that you know. Share it in your community tab if you are a content creator yourself, please. And let people know about the channel. I know I've taken a little bit of break here and there on the channel, but I'm going to get back on the saddle and start cranking out the videos, the uploads, and doing the live streams. You know, the holidays have been around, so a lot of things are happening. We all have personal lives and family obligations, but I'm going to keep it going strong here. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me. And once again, I want to say again, I apologize sometimes when I do the videos and I may not pronunciate certain names correct. That's why I wanted to come back on this video and make some corrections from the last video. I took that video down simply because it just wasn't a good product given those ramifications and those reasons. With that said, everybody, let me know, what do you think about these new additions to the team, young men that have signed? What do you think about Pat being finally named the offensive coordinator? Do you think it was the right choice, or they should go look for further choices? Give me your guess as to who you think will eventually end up as the defensive coordinator of this team. Coach Prime is primarily focusing on NFL coaches. However, he did say in the video that he's not afraid to go after college coaches as well.
Or from the NFL, but we're trying to do it right, because this side of the room, right, defense, you deserve that. And we're going to get it right for you, because a lot of you guys want to go to the next level, and I plan on you guys going to the next level, and we're going to get to that.
And he plans, and that's fair use. He plans on you guys going to the next level. He's planning on CU players getting to the next level, and I think they're gonna have a better season than they had this previous year. Now, I'm gonna put this up once again. That's what their schedule looks like for the upcoming season. Now, you still have to play the games, obviously, but that schedule, as you look at it, North Dakota State, Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona, Utah, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Cincinnati, Kansas, Texas Tech, and UCF. These teams, look, they're not world beaters. Anything can happen in football, of course, but we got to be honest that their schedule in the Pac-12 was a lot tougher last year than what this schedule appears to be for the upcoming 2024 season. However, games have to be played because anything can happen. We've got to be honest,
tell the truth,
and truthful about that. Okay, everybody. So I appreciate you. And with that said, this is Prime Sports Media. Peace.
tell the truth.